Alrighty guys, we're back for Activated Combo, and this is a Foundation Standard Brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some Ranked. Okay, we got a top end of Arcanis the Omnipotent, and this is a 6 mana, 3/4 legendary creature, wizard. You can tap it to draw 3 cards, which is pretty cool, and then for a 2 and double blue, you can return Arcanis to its owner's hand. That's neat, but boy, that's expensive. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to be sending this to the grave with our other cards and then picking it up with Agatha's Soul Cauldron. It's a 2 mana legendary artifact. You can tap it, exile target card from a graveyard. When a creature card is exiled this way, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. And then you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to activate abilities of creatures you control, which is going to be important for this one. And then creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have all activated abilities of all creature cards exiled with Agatha's Soul Cauldron. So yeah, if you put a +1/+1 counter on any of your creatures, like maybe a Sleep-Cursed Faerie, for example, right? Then if you have Arcanis exiled with the Soul Cauldron, you can tap the Sleep-Cursed Faerie to draw 3 cards, which is no joke, huh? But of course, there is a whole bunch of combos in here that's going to work really well with the Soul Cauldron, and we actually have an infinite combo as well. We'll see if we can pull off today. One of those essential pieces for that combo is actually Training Grounds. It's a 1 blue mana enchantment. Activated abilities of creatures you control cost 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. Okay, that's neat, right? So we have Sleep-Cursed Faerie in here too, like I was saying. It's a 1 mana 3/3 flying, ward 2. Sleep-Cursed Faerie enters tapped with 3 stun counters on it. And then you can pay 1 and a blue to untap Sleep-Cursed Faerie. Okay, and we're going to be pairing that with Omen Hawker, which is a 1 blue mana, 1/1. You could tap this to add a colorless and a blue. Spend this mana only to activate abilities. Okay, I know there's a lot going on here. I'm getting a little lost already, but what ends up happening then is if you have Omen Hawker to tap to get the colorless and a blue, and you have like a Sleep-Cursed Faerie underneath the Soul Cauldron, then you can untap the Omen Hawker and then tap it again for its ability again, right? And any mixture of that too, because this is also an activated ability, right? So you could do the same thing with having the counter on the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. A similar concept, right? But you got to watch out for those stun counters then too. Anyways, what ends up happening though is the Sleep-Cursed Faerie's bottom ability costs only 1 blue source if you have Training Grounds on the board. So then at that point you are creating infinite mana, but only infinite mana for activated abilities. So it's so what you could end up doing with that infinite mana then is maybe powering up Surge Engine all the way. That's a good one, right? To power up. But then also we have a 1 of Realm-Scorcher Hellkite. No red in the mana base. We don't need it because we want to send this to the grave specifically for that bottom ability. Or 1 and a red Realm-Scorcher Hellkite deals 1 damage to any target. So if we go infinite with Omen Hawker, we have infinite damage with the Realm-Scorcher Hellkite. So Soul Cauldron's top ability coming in handy then, where you can spend mana as though it were any mana of any color to activate those abilities. So that's where the red comes in. Oh, buddy, lots to go over. So how are we sending stuff to the grave? Well, we have all 4 Ronas in here, and it has that activated ability where you can tap it, draw a card, discard a card. That'll come in handy. We got Kiora, the Rising Tide, where it enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. And since we're sending stuff to the grave anyways, that threshold should be relatively easy too. So we'll see. I have a couple counter spells in here since we're running blue, I suppose. Don't make a sound, I'm trying out. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If they do pay the 2, you surveil 2. So a little bit of an upside there. Then we also have Marvin, Murderous Mimic in here. This is a 2 mana 2/2 legendary artifact creature. And it has all activated abilities of creatures you control that don't have the same name as this creature. So if we miss the Soul Cauldron, there's still a potential where we have enough creatures on the board to do something fancy with Marvin. That's kind of neat, right? All right, guys, no honorable mentions today. We've played a very similar combo deck list very far in the past. I don't know how long ago, honestly. Maybe like a year ago. But yeah, we're revisiting it. with some updated cards, new cards that I think are going to actually just be terrific in here. Arcanis being one from Foundations too. At the very least, what should have made the honorable mentions? Let me know in the comments. Either way, guys, hopefully I went over the deck list well enough because I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. Right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? We're in danger. No, seriously, there's a chance that we'll pull off the combo, but holy cow, standard is tough. And this has got to be a janky deck list, right? It's gotta be. We'll keep this hand, get the training grounds down. Rona can send the Realm-Scorcher right away, or we could set up with Surge Engine. Since we went first, it might be decent to do. Duress misses. Boy, how often does that happen, huh? Wow. Duress rarely misses. Another Training Grounds. Okay, at some point. I don't want my Surge Engine to get picked up by a cut down. I think I'm just going to set up the Rona and get the Realm-Scorcher into the grave early on here. And maybe Rona can eat the cut down. But Surge Engine doesn't get hit by Go for the Throat, which is, well, Virtue also hits Surge Engine, so I think I'm okay with that. Sleight of Hand. Hey, I forgot to go over that when we were talking about the deck list. Sleight of Hand in here to just help us find our combo pieces. I guess we'll play it all. That's fine. It's okay. We know the opponent's rocking a lot of removal, so I don't really know what I'm playing around by keeping Surge Engine in hand, you know what I mean? Like, maybe if we waited until we had enough open mana to get it to a 5/4, but then, yeah, I don't really know. Let's start with Sleight of Hand here. Soul Cauldron, yes. Yes, we want the Soul Cauldron. Get that set up. I guess Sleep-Cursed Faerie for the turn. We do have the 1 blue. Training Grounds is on the board, so we can get rid of 1 stun counter on this. Okay, let's see what the opponent does here. Solemn Simulacrum. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, they're going to grab a land. They're tapped out. Let's go ahead. Do the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. Duress, cut down, Solemn Simulacrum. Okay. Mana off the top is not bad, actually. Yeah, not bad at all. Because we go Soul Cauldron. We can activate Soul Cauldron ability. Now, Rona, I guess both of these is pretty good to exile. We'll start with the Surge Engine, though. And then we want to untap. And then, I guess, untap, right? So we can get the swing for the turn. I guess so. I mean, it still has ward, too, but they got a lot of mana. Something else. Yeah, no, we're fine. We're fine. That was pretty good. Oh, -2 on the Liliana. Gets around the ward. They didn't need to get around the ward. They have enough mana over here anyways. So, Realm-Scorcher really needs to hit the grave. Liliana can help us do that. Gleaming Barrier, guys! Is this our mono blacklist? It might actually be. It's very rare that we see... First of all, great draw. It's very rare that we actually see one of our own lists. But it might be, and, you know, it might not be, too. They might have come to the same conclusion with the deck list. We should probably keep the other Kiora. But the Sleight of Hands is actually pretty decent, too, isn't it? Yeah, we want to keep the other... No. They're... Yeah, I'll try to keep the other Kiora because the expectation here is the first one's going to die, but they got the +1 on the Liliana anyways. So that's kind of tough. Well, we're getting one further from the threshold, but we're getting set up here pretty well. Yeah, one further from the threshold isn't going to be a bad thing, I would say. Is that okay? We have one for... oh, can't be blocked, guys. Can't be blocked. That might come in handy next turn to hit the Liliana. Outside of that, I think we just pass it back to the opponent's turn. That'll be really good. Yeah, we have Surge Engine underneath Soul Cauldron. Oh, Liliana number 2. Crap, guys, crap. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. They must have wanted to keep the other 2 cards in hand because they didn't go plus first. All right, well. There's nothing we can do, right? So I guess we just don't do anything then. Yeah, nothing to get around that. All right. So Kiora. Kiora's not bad. Realistically, we'll have the 7. This time I won't exile anything with the Soul Cauldron and see if we can actually pull off the 8/8 next turn. That might be pretty good. Arcanis. Arcanis is pretty good. We want to get around the next sacrifice effect, right, if they have it. And just nothing with the Soul Cauldron feels a little funny. But we have the threshold on Kiora, so... Alright, guys. Like I said, the opponent might have come to the same conclusion. If not, if it's our list, that's really cool. And what that means is, I know what's in there. I'm scared, bro. I'm scared. Top-end Liliana could pop everything very fast. So now we have the option to go... Soul Cauldron, we have the block, but they draw on the Simulacrum anyway. So I think we just take the 2 here and keep the threshold around. Outside of that, they have 5 mana. So they're still 1 away from the top-end Liliana. Deadly Cover-Up. Okay. We should probably make sure they don't exile something important from the grave. So what that would mean... is probably the Arcanis for the draw. If they take the Realm-Scorcher. Yeah, we'll grab the Arcanis just in case. Yeah, we want to make sure there's as much as possible underneath these Soul Cauldrons. This is silly, man. This is silly. So we get the extra treasure from the death. Crawling Barrens. And they go for the discard because they're setting up for Liliana's -2. Uh-oh, it's an island. Still have 8 in the grave, but 2 Kioras are gone. Oh, they didn't collect evidence. Oh. I mean, that's fine, right? We could play the mana because we don't want to discard it. We can still consider exiles on the Soul Cauldron, but if we exile too many of our creatures, we'll run out of +1 counters, but we have a lot. Aclizotes in our list, guys. Aclizotes was a 1 of. So here's where it might be different. If they play a second Aclizotes, we'll know. We'll know it's a different build. Dude, we're in danger, huh? Let's go ahead and pick up the... Let's pick up the Rona. To have the draw and discard. Uh-oh, it's another Soul Cauldron. Uh-oh. We need to draw a little bit better here. What we really desperately need is a creature that we can tap to draw 3 to reestablish. Okay, that helps our threshold a little bit. We definitely didn't want to play the second Soul Cauldron, so the discard was happening regardless. They go discard on Liliana too. Still, they have the -2 ready and available for Liliana. So I think the best thing... Well, any creature, actually, because... No, actually, not any creature. Well, I guess... I guess we still play it. Right? I don't know. They just got the -2 immediately on Liliana. They go ahead, create a fishy here. So now I guess we still want to do this too, I guess. The biggest issue here is, you know, it doesn't have haste. If we were actually able to tap this down for some of the abilities. Oh, we do have Return Arcanis to its owner's hand as one of these abilities. That might help us get around it. And we have... we can get rid of the Liliana, guys. We can. Realm-Scorcher. Realm-Scorcher's ability. Let's go. Dude, there's so much under this soul cauldron.
Do not touch me again.
Oh my goodness. And then we still have that one, because Training Grounds is on the board. So everything's very cheap here. We can transform Rona. I don't know what happens if we do transform. Probably nothing. 5/4, that might come in handy. But now we pass it back. There's a small chance. There's a small chance that we pull this off, guys. The biggest thing here is we need to be able to tap the Omen Hawker to gain the mana, and it doesn't have haste, so we have to have it survive the turn. So another thing too, Crawling Barrens. Okay. They still have this treasure. We might be okay. They just swing with the Aclazotes. Okay. They could have drawn removal. The reason we're keeping it open till the very end. Okay, it's going to be a Bandit's Hall. It could still be like a cut down. But I guess it might not have been. We'll try this. It's a 6/5. It passes back, guys. All right, so I think we have everything we need, right? I think we're good to go. So we do Omen Hawker, and then we do untap, and we do Omen Hawker, and then we do untap. Okay, and then we do this. I guess we have to go as fast as possible, though, right? I'll do my best, guys. Let's hope I don't misclick. Untap. Activated ability, untap. They're at 25. Ability, untap. Okay, activated ability, untap. Okay. Realm-Scorcher, hit you, because we have a swing of 6 when it comes time. Activated ability, untap. I can't believe we pulled this off, guys, for real. I literally, I can't believe it. All right, how much mana do we have? Okay, we'll start poking the opponent's face to show what's happening here. Oh my goodness, guys. They're letting us play this out or forcing us to play this out. I can't really tell. Oh my goodness. Well. All right, we'll do some more tapping now. And untap. And tap. And untap. Is there anything we could do to make the, or buff the Omen Hawker further? I guess we could try to find. Untap. Okay, that should be enough now. I was gonna say we could go for the draw and try to find more ways to maybe boost the Hawker, or I guess we could put an extra counter on it too from the Soul Cauldron. Opponent is either having a really good time or a really bad time. I can't tell because they're gone. They're gone. Oh, man. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to do any extra unnecessary tapping. Down to 7. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Hit a creature. Kiora. Look at this, guys. Swing for 7. GG opponent. Well, 14 minutes. Pulled off the infinite combo. Literally can't believe it, dude. First game. Well, it didn't really take that much. And honestly, maybe I could have found it sooner. There was probably somewhere in that game where I didn't optimize a play. Because there was a lot going on, guys. There really, really was. It's a good thing I figured out that, yeah, first of all, we don't need to tap for the Realm-Scorcher ability, so we didn't need haste. We could just activate that ability to clean up the Liliana. I almost missed that completely, and that would have been really bad because they would have just had the -2, and that would have been it. All right, guys, let's keep the ball rolling. Yeah, maybe the opponent was like, you know what, we'll let him play it out. But at the same time, too, that was a lot of clicking, so I can't really tell. Because if I was in a similar situation, I would want them to perform the combo because that's fun. But maybe at some point, too, if the combo was too long, maybe I drop the concede. I don't really know. It depends. Depends what I'm feeling. I guess it depends on the combo. Like if I think the opponent's having fun with the combo. All right, we keep this. Ruckus Theater. Okay, we could probably go right into just establish the training grounds. Okay. Collector's Vault. All right, Rakdos Reanimator is a fun one. Very scary deck list. Let's get the Rona down and established. In case we see any of our top end that we want to discard. Yeah, in that last one, we really showed that Arcanis' draw really just doesn't matter, does it? It will matter in some games as you're trying to find the rest of your combo pieces. But I guess I meant to say in that last game, it really didn't matter at all. Didn't need the extra card draw. All right, we have Don't Make a Sound open. And we're going to keep that open over playing like the Soul Cauldron for the turn. Collector's Vault. See what they discard. Is it a Valgavoth? It is not. That's good news. So if we don't use Don't Make a Sound, we'll activate the Sleep-Cursed Faerie ability twice thanks to Training Grounds. So they have 4 open here. See the Surveil. It's Fear of Missing Out. Bitter Reunion. Still got 2. I'll try the Bitter Reunion. They still have 2. If they pay it, we Surveil 2, which could be really good for us. A Bitter Reunion on the board might... Well, they still have Collector's Vault to discard whatever they want to, so they do pay the 2. We don't need the second Training Grounds, and we don't need a Sleight of Hand, right? It could help us dive a little deeper. Based on our hand, though, I think I'm just going to ditch it. I think that's fine. We're just searching for our combo pieces. Yeah, they opt for the Bitter Reunion over just letting it get countered. I mean, that definitely says something. All right, Sleight of Hand. Let's see what we find. Kiora. I think we want that in our hand. Over the island, right? I think so. And then we will establish Rona. Because next turn, we can activate Rona's ability. Kiora comes down. It's a legendary. Untaps the Rona. Cruelty of Gix. We go number 1. That's not good. Kiora's out of here. Surge Engine they know we have the Soul Cauldron, so if they send the Surge Engine, they know Soul Cauldron's eventually going to pick it up and give us those extra activated abilities. But they're looking at the Kiora like it's not that big of a threat. But I think it is. All right, Kiora's out of here, unfortunately, guys. Sleep-Cursed Faerie. So next turn, they're going to grab their big old chunky creature to their hand and lose 3. Can easily untap the Sleep-Cursed Faerie here. I'm actually going to trade out, maybe. Hold on, opponent. I'm thinking, buddy. Trade out the island. How you guys feel about that? See what we find. Yeah, I'm going to trade out the island. I mean, we're still looking for the combo. We find another island anyways, so I'll play it this time. We could keep it to ditch next turn, but this is fine. We should probably establish everything onto the board state over the swing on the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. I think that is fine and dandy. Oh, hey! Soul Cauldron's legendary. Nice! We still get the swing with the Rona then. Okay, cool. Oh, man. That's funny. Okay. Keep the Soul Cauldron open for their turn. I guess we could have gotten an extra counter in if we plugged the counter onto the Rona. I was planning on plugging counters onto Surge Engine, so... Because that might be our only way through if we miss the combo. Brotherhood's End. Holy cow, dude. We just got wrecked. What do I value on this board? So we'll grab the Rona and we value the Sleep-Cursed Faerie then, right? All right. Wait, what did they choose? What? Artifacts? Artifacts? No, my Soul Cauldron. That's funny, man. Actually, we still have a pretty great swing then. Let's start with Sleight of Hand. Huh. I think we're going to have to choose Arcanis here. I don't know if it's worth trading that out with the Rona, because we might just find the 6. I'm putting Arcanis in the grave. Okay. I'm going to keep Arcanis in hand. Okay. It's good damage. They're at 11. I was really thrown off by the artifacts. Go for the throw on Rona. Okay. All right. Well, with the transform being 2 less, yeah, go for the throat would have still picked it up pretty nicely. They go ahead and reanimate our Kiora. Oh, they could give it haste. It's a great reanimation target. We're going to try to block it with the Sleep-Cursed Faerie, though. They also don't know what's in hand, too. Holy cow, double Atraxa hitting the grave off of our Kiora, guys. Zombify. We are out of this game. Oh, man. Darn, you know what? The artifacts was actually brilliant from the opponent because they had to get rid of the Soul Cauldron. In other words, we could have kept it open and targeted whatever they were targeting out of their grave anyways. Or our grave, for that matter, with the Kiora. Yeah, we'll play it out. We'll go another turn here. If we would have sent the Arcanis, we could have potentially found something that helped, maybe. Here's an 8/8. So we can untap the Sleep-Cursed Faerie now to block the Kiora, but bro, we're out of this once the Atraxa landed. The only way I can see forward is finding the combo, but with our Soul Cauldron gone, I mean, that's just not going to happen. Down to 13, and funny enough, they have 13 on the board. It's a Kiora. That's actually not bad. We'll go for it. Let's see what we see. Maybe we find that Soul Cauldron. We don't, but another Sleep-Cursed Faerie, I suppose, isn't terrible. Actually, our 5th mana, too. Well, yeah, never mind. We have to discard 2 here. We'll keep the Sleep-Cursed Faerie, then. And we can play the Fairy. Maybe Kiora can swing next turn, but they're going to be going up to 25, and they also restocked their hand with a whole bunch of stuff. They got a pool? They might as well... Well, no, they have Attracts on the board. They might as well pool from our grave, right? Arcanis and Kiora? Heck yeah, dude. And you know what? They might as well go for the swing, but they could also bring back the Arcanis with the pool and draw 3. Is actually really cool too, isn't it? Anoint with Affliction on the Kiora. Collector's Vault. Huh. I guess we'll chump. I guess we'll survive one more turn, right? Just to see what's on top. So with the Sleep-Cursed Faerie Ward 2, it would have been pretty expensive to get around the chump blocker. Oh, also, the Scion of the Deep is legendary, so you won't get multiple of those if they did bring back the Kiora. That's noteworthy, I suppose, right? At that point, we'll untap the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. And that's it. We'll just, again, we'll pass it back. We'll let the opponent swing on in. You guys always feel free to skip ahead throughout the matches and whatnot. We tend to let the opponents do the thing. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. Always feel free to skip ahead. We got chapters. Oop. Go for the block on the Scion of the Deep. Good game, opponent. Anyways, we have chapters down at the bottom of the video if you mouse over it, and then in the description there are timestamps as well for each game. 50% win rate. Okay. That's closer to correct, right? It's definitely not going to be a 100% win rate style of build, but they've been very long games, guys. We're going to do our best to get a couple more matches in, and I can't guarantee that either of those two will be victories. So I think generally speaking, that first game was an anomaly. I don't think it's going to happen very often where we survive that late into the game to actually pull off the combo. All right. Kiora has been interesting so far, right? Because Soul Cauldron's taken stuff out of our grave, but you still want to hit the threshold, but it should be easy enough to hit the threshold, which we kind of shown, but then also, since it doesn't have haste, it dies anyways. 4 mana is a lot, but we're going to give it a shot since we have Sleight of Hand for turn 1. Actually, I'm just going to go for the Sleep-Cursed Faerie. The sooner we can start swinging with a ward creature against Golgari, the better. Turn 2 Sleight of Hand still works well enough, I suppose. Alright, Kiora number 2 won't be too bad. Because again, huge target on his back, huh? They're looking at the Sleep-Cursed Faerie, but it's rocking ward too. Sleep-Cursed Faerie has like stats for days. That's why it has that massive downside, you know? Okay, more mana off the top. Okay. Okie dokies. I don't think I've interacted with these new kitty cats yet. Good, it does. Is this down? Wait, Anoint with Affliction, get out of here. Also, ward 2. That is an oopsie daisies. Okay. That works out very well in our favor as an Anoint is now in the grave and Exile is terrible for this. Go right into Kiora, right? We'll discard Omen Hawker and Realm-Scorcher. No, Realm-Scorcher and Island, because that is way too many islands. I was going to say getting the Hawker into the grave is decent, because then eventually we start bringing it back with Soul Cauldron and stuff, right? So far, the kitty cat has only sat down. Anoint with Affliction! But opponent, you already used one of those. Preacher of the Schism gets the Vampire and the draw. More mana. Hold on. On our turn, I need to interact with this cat again. Okay, it stands up. It does a circle. Okay. Okay. And it lays down. Oh, okay, that's cute. All right, mana. sorry, opponent. Just taking my good old time, huh? Kiora, yeah. Kiora number 2. See what we see. Sleep-Cursed Faerie, Sleight of Hand. Thinking it's gonna be the Sleight of Hand because we're getting there, and I think that the Sleep-Cursed Faerie is the play then. Yeah, that should be okay. Seeing the don't make a sound is pretty good, but it would have been better to actually be able to keep that open for the turn. Of course, we didn't have enough mana for that, but when Golgari comes to their 4th turn, Counterspell is going to be pretty good. Luckily, not getting punished here. I will go ahead and attempt the block on the Vampire. I'm not too concerned about losing the Kiora. Nothing happened to the Kiora anyways, which is great news. Also a Dread Knight. Okay, our 3rd Kiora. Wow. Too bad we can't get more into the grave. I guess we could. We could keep the Kiora that's actually about to swing for the turn. Yeah, we might as well. Actually really good, isn't it? And keep you around. ETB. And then Sleight of Hand is again probably going to be the discard here. Threshold is just cards, right? 7 or more cards. Yeah, it doesn't have to be permanents. We can play that. We have Don't Make a Sound open now. Swing for 6. Get an 8/8. Heck yeah, dude. This is freaking sick. Omen Hawker, we're just going to keep the Don't Make a Sound open. Because we want to stop their big old chunky creatures. Their Archfiend of the Dross is a great counterspell, of course. And Shieldred is an excellent counterspell. If they go for the throat on the 8/8 or something, we could go Don't Make a Sound and still get the Surveil, which Surveil, of course, could really help us out. Yeah. I'll go for it. Let's see what happens. If they pay the 2, we Surveil 2, and the Surveil 2 could be really good for us, and we're about to generate another 8/8 anyways. It's actually, okay, I'm going to send both of these. We're looking for our Soul Cauldron at this point. Or a Training Grounds. So Kiora is going to swing anyways and get another 8/8. So it actually works out really nicely. Arcanis. Wow. Hi. Okay. So we're going to activate the Sleep-Cursed Faerie ability twice for the turn. Full swing. 8/8. Yes. Yes. They chump. Take 6 in the air. We'll get the Omen Hawker down, I suppose. You guys don't think it's going to be a board wipe, right? Eh, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. So just 3 spot removal from the opponent so far, and one of them missed on the ward, which was very lucky for us. Yeah, because again, that exile's brutal stuff. Ritual Chamber, they get a 6/6. I don't think that's going to be enough. They have a blocker here. Oh, chump blocker there. Okay, yep, that makes sense. I guess at that point, we could get rid of the Preacher, but I guess it's not worth it. Full swing next turn still seems a little bit better. Rona. Yeah, I guess so. And we want to decline this because it's a legendary. Scion of the Deep. Token legendary Octopus. Chump. And... yep. That's 7. They got a Marsh. It's nothing, guys. Oh, lifelink, lifelink. They go back up to 1. Oh, crap. Crap. That's pretty bad. Okay, Rona and Sleep-Cursed Faerie can untap if we need to. If we need to block the 6/6. Crap, guys. Okay, I was like, what am I missing here? You know, they had that Marsh. It could have easily been a cut down for the Kiora. Archfiend of the Dross, bro. They're gaining. They got blockers. But I think we're wide enough. They still have the Preacher swing, so they're gonna go back up to 2, back up to 4. Well, back up to 3 on the Unholy Annex, and on our turn, back up to 4. So we need to squeeze 4 through. They do go for the swing. Dude, I'm on the edge of my seat. I want to say that this turn is a math is for blockers turn, but I'm pretty sure we're in danger either way, and we're kind of forced to full swing here, right? Especially since they have all that in the air. We do have Arcanis for the turn. Doesn't have haste or anything, though. So maybe... no, we're going to be forced to swing with that too, right? Thinking like Rona's ability... Rona! Rona's ability, guys. We can transform Rona. We actually have to pay 2 here. So that's good. That's really good. Full swing. Decline. Okay. It was a math is for blockers turn. Rona it has trample, so that's going to be one of the chumps. And then they will not be gaining any life here because they don't have the lifelink creature from the Preacher of the Schism this time. So 4 gets through. So even if they had the lifelink, hey, good game, opponent. Oh my goodness, bro. You know what? Taking down Golgari feels pretty darn good, doesn't it? Guys, we're about 40 minutes in. The matches have been long, and I think we could just end on a high note. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, that first game showcased the combo beautifully. Overall, this whole recording week, the matches have been really tough and brutal on my poor, poor deck lists. And so just ending the week on a high note against Golgari sounds about right. I think we're going to end there. Duskmourn pack, let's see what we got here. At the end, ooh, it's a mythic. It's a mythic wild card. Let's freaking go, guys. That's what you like to see. Holy cow. Just one good thing after another, huh? Activated combo. This is cool, man. This is cool. A little bit of modifications here and there. Yeah. This could be really sick. I don't know. Well, honestly, more testing required, first of all. I don't know where the modifications would be, but a couple other things too. It's still, okay, it's going to be sick, but it's still going to be pretty janky. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm pretty positive that it can't be competitive, right? Man, that felt pretty decent in those. Felt pretty decent, but I'm okay. I'm confused. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? I'm pretty sure it's going to be janky, guys. I'm pretty sure. So put it on the do not craft list. It's pretty expensive as well. And these cards you're just not going to see outside of this deck list very often. Training Grounds, all 4 of them in here. That's rare. Sleep-Cursed Faerie, all 4 of them in here. That's rare. I mean, I guess we might play it in fairies. I mean, I'll play it in fairies at some point, but you know, we might not see this card too much outside of something like this. Surge Engine, that's a mythic, bro. Rona, that's a rare. Yeah. Marvin is a rare. Agatha Soul Cauldron is a mythic. I'm lagging a little bit for some reason. Kiora is a rare. Arcanis is a rare. And Realm-Scorcher is a mythic as well. Very expensive. Of course, the mana base is cheap, I guess, right? The Don't Make a Sound was actually pretty sick today. We got to surveil both times off of it, which is pretty funny. And the surveil really comes in handy, of course, in a deck list like this. A Sleight of Hand just in here to help us find the combo, not sending anything to the grave. Totally fine. Like looking at 2, picking 1, that'll be great in combo deck lists. And then Omen Hawker is actually uncommon. Very, very expensive deck list, guys. Definitely put it on the do not craft list, regardless of how well it performed today. I'd say don't be fooled by how well it performed. And we might be able to pull off more victories, but that win rate's still going to balance out around a 50% and is going to go a little lower. I would imagine. Maybe I'm just incredibly wrong about this, right? So I don't really know. I don't really know. Arcanis, you could, like, if you have most of the cards already, then you could craft a little bit less based on what's in your collection, right? Arcanis might not be necessary, but I think a lot of games, when you see Arcanis with the Soul Cauldron, I think in a lot of games that's going to be really, really good. Just having your Sleep-Cursed Faerie draw you 3, then untap, draw you 3, right? That seems kind of crazy. It's too bad we didn't get to see that today. But that, if you didn't find your combo yet, drawing 6 cards on the same turn, that'll do it, right? So definitely something to consider. And the bottom abilities an activated ability to potentially helping us save a creature that we don't want to die, that's important, I would say. Either way, Arcanis might not be necessary. It might not be necessary as a 3 of. We could drop it down to 2, drop it down to 1, and then go up a couple more pieces of something else. Some tempo actually wouldn't be a terrible thing in here, right? Because we don't, like, we're full leaning into the combo. Once again, guys, it's another one of my deck lists where we're just going for the thing. Kind of worked out today, and that might honestly be one of the reasons why I'm thinking it's leaning towards jank, though, too. If we lean it a bit more tempo and actually have the ability to keep open and unsummon with some of these activated abilities being kept open, too. Like, if we don't have to drop the unsummon, it's a similar concept. If we don't drop a counter spell, we can remove a stun counter from the Sleep-Cursed Faerie and stuff like that. And Sleep-Cursed Faerie already being a pretty great tempo piece for that style of build, right? So going up a couple unsummons over a couple Arcanis could help you out. It might not, honestly. Maybe the deck list won those couple matches because we leaned so heavy into the combo, and that's it, right? Kiora actually getting the Scion of the Deep in that last one is really sick. I kept bringing it up. Just remember the token is legendary too. So if it wasn't legendary, holy cow, bro, that would be insane. Even with it being legendary, just getting an 8/8 and getting it so easily, it's pretty neat, man. Even if we are exiling stuff with Soul Cauldron, it still seemed relatively easy. And look, man, you're not even really looking at the threshold side of things. You're really just looking at it as a legendary creature that can untap Rona, but also draws you 2, discards 2. So you're getting your important things into the grave to pick up with the Soul Cauldron anyways. Marvin didn't see any play today. Marvin is another one that might not be necessary, right? Marvin is a rare. You could drop that and go up. Yeah, probably the tempo pieces, I'm thinking, right? Like drop a couple Arcanis, drop the Marvin, go up a couple unsummons and maybe another counterspell. Maybe triple unsummons. I don't know what else we would take out though too. And again, remember, if you lean out of the combo, you might see it less and less, but that might mean you survive more and more too. I think all 4 Surge Engines makes a lot of sense as one of our main win conditions when we're not finding the combo. Also blocks really well. It should be really, really easy to get this to a 5/4 unblockable thanks to all 4 training grounds in here, right? It's just 1 blue, can't be blocked. 1 blue, it's a 5/4. If you ever have a couple training grounds on the board, which isn't going to be unheard of either, then it's just double blue, draw 3 cards. That's kind of crazy, man. I think all 4 of those is definitely worth it too. And the 22 mana felt pretty good too. A lot to talk about here. And the infinite combo, just the Realm-Scorcher Hellkite being a 1-of makes a lot of sense. I think that's what we ran the last time we tried out a deck list like this. And I think that's what other people were running the last time everyone was trying out a deck list like this. I think it was just one Realm-Scorcher. I'm not 100% certain it was so long ago, but the 1 makes sense to me. So, but that's another thing too. If you have a lot of these cards already, again, craft a little less based on your, based on what your collection looks like. Maybe you have a couple Realm-Scorcher Hellkites and you want to see that combo more often, the infinite combo with the damage, right? Well, then maybe you don't have the Marvin, you drop the Marvin, go up the Realm-Scorcher, right? I hope that all makes sense, and maybe going over that's unnecessary, but you never know, right? So, okay, guys, hey, thank you so much for being here. If you made it this far into the video for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. I don't think there's anything else I have to say about this. When I put it up on Aether Hub, even though it did well today, I'm still going to put it up as jank because that's still what I'm leaning towards. And you guys let me know in the comments if I'm right about that. I'm pretty sure we'd lose a lot more if we kept playing. So, all right. Hey, thanks again for being here. Enough rambling, huh? I will see you in the next video.